Okay, I am live again. Hey Aaron, just say hi down below. Let me know you're a real person, even though I know you are. Cindy, thanks for your support. I'm just going around my condo unit. Again, I like to be outside. I love being outside when I'm doing my GoLives because it gives me a chance to breathe in all this fresh air, breathe in all the energy from the universe all at once. Thanks you everybody for your support. Not real, yeah. Okay, so I'm watching a whole bunch of GoLives today and I'm just realizing I've heard so many different stories. Like Darcy today is telling everybody's going back to work. And then I've heard stories from Jang. He's worked at a butcher shop and got that line in the sand moment. I want to share a little bit about my story on how I got to where I am today. So I grew up on Vancouver Island and we really didn't have much money at all. So little money that a few times in my past I've had to actually collect pop bottles from the neighborhood so that I could have a birthday party with one of my friends. I didn't even make enough money to take two of my friends, just one of them. So it came like, how do I say this? I just want everybody to realize that the more real you are with your GoLive, the better, or the more real you are in your life towards your own feelings, towards yourself, towards the things, the circumstances you've had in your life. So I come from a place that's pretty much at the bottom. And it was not my mom's fault or anybody in particular's fault, but I grew up that way and I came to appreciate all the little things that I've had to endure in my life and all the challenges that I've had in my life. I want to come from a place of real right now with everybody, and that like each one of us has our own struggles. And I've had a really good friend of mine die like pretty much in my arms. I was the guy who ran for help in that situation, and that was like 25 years ago. And I always went through my life working with new people or meeting new people, and nobody ever really knows who you are or the circumstances you've gone through. And they just assume you're just like everybody else, and when you complain about something, you're just bitching or you're just whatever about it. And in reality, you've lived your life to this point, and all of those different things that you've done in your life have cascaded and like made you who you are. So sometimes I catch myself finding myself forgetting about those moments too, because I know a lot of people, but there's certain things about them that I don't have a clue, because they are reserved in there wanting to tell other people, or even just the fact that they've been used to people assuming that you're just whining. So they just stopped telling their story and telling their adventure or their downfalls, because nobody really wants to hear anybody else's downfalls. But in actuality, if you take those downfalls that each and every one of us have gone through, you actually use those as like building blocks. And I was telling him like where I came from, and like I was just fresh. I hadn't done a GoLive yet. I hadn't even made my own video yet. And I came from the place of that I just told my story, and that I grew up on the island. I never had much. I've decided to drop out of high school because I knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere during high school, and I got onto welfare in BC when I was 19 years old, and I moved out with my high school girlfriend and we got a place together, and then I had a buddy move to Alberta, and I was always under the assumption that that's what you do. You got to get out of school, you got to get yourself a good paying job. So I moved out to Alberta all by myself. I worked out there for a while. I ended up getting a place. I lived in High River at the time. And then everything went to shit. And I wasn't exactly living the best life. I was putting a lot of negative out and thinking that I was going to get a lot of positive back. And in actuality, just what I've learned lately is that it is true. If you put good out, good will come back. If you put negative out, you might not get it right away. Eventually you do, and it got to that point where I moved back to BC, and I moved in with my mom. And I'm 21 years old now. And I'm living with my mom, and I wake up every day and just wonder why the hell my life went to shit. And then I decided one day, I'm in the kitchen with my buddy, another friend of mine, Jess. He's been on my GoLives here a couple times. He was always telling me, come on man, move back to Alberta. This is where all the work is. This is how you do it all. And I always told him, forget it, man. My whole life turned to shit. I'm never moving back to Alberta. And instead of just moping around on Gabriola Island and staying in my basement or my mom's house, and she didn't have much. She was living on welfare, and like generation after generation, that's what the cycle you learn. And I always wanted the best. I wanted exactly the opposite of that. I never had a father. I never had a man to teach me how to throw a baseball. I never had somebody there for me when I went out for my first date, tell me that I should go ask her father's permission and all that jazz. I never had somebody there to teach me what a father really was. But over my life, I've actually realized everything that wasn't there is exactly what I needed to be when I became a father. So then I decided I'm going to move back to Alberta. I had started collecting welfare again, and I got my welfare check, and I had $100 left over. And I just looked at my buddy and I said, hey man, you want to hitchhike to Alberta? And it's like, Alberta's a 12-hour drive from where I was, get off the ferry, and it's 12 hours. Well, it ended up taking us 3.5 days in the middle of February, so it was really cold. The pass got shut down in Sycamore, Salmon Arm area, so we're stuck there overnight, don't have any place to go. We ended up breaking the law and finding a place to sleep. And then we woke up in the morning, and this guy, Douglas Rabbit, I'll never forget him. He gave me and my buddy $15 in Subway coupons, and we ended up having breakfast at Subway. And then not even 30 seconds later, we jump out on the highway. We got these big backpacks with us, and this guy that owns a casino down in the States, I wish I could remember his name, but whatever. Him and his wife decided that they were going to pull over and give us a ride. Well, they ended up giving us a ride all the way from Revelstoke into Calgary, which was totally awesome. Moved up to Camrose. So it took us about 3.5 days to do that. And the journey itself, $100 to our name. It was that you show up with all your warriors on shore, and you light all the boats on fire behind you and say, well, okay boys, it's either sink or swim. And I sank a little bit, but at the same time, I got to this point where I was making it. I was doing this thing for myself. I wasn't living on what I used to live on. I actually probably tripled what my mom lived on my entire life in a matter of months of living in Alberta. And still, I make like a crazy amount of money in comparison to what my mom pulls in every month. My mom's on disability now, so like my buddy, he gave me a lottery ticket the other night for Christmas, and I'm watching his dog for Christmas, and he says to me, well, if you win, you got to give me like 2%. And well, he's a really good buddy of mine. I said to him, man, you got to come at that at a different angle. You have to come from a place of giving always, and you're one of my best friends. There's not a hope in high hell that I wouldn't give you more than 2% just because you're my buddy. Like, I want to take you to the top with me, he's very skeptical kind of person, but he's still a true friend to me. I've been there for him, and he's been there for me in a couple really good occasions. I'm lucky enough to say that I have some great friends like that have been there for me in many times. But always come from that place of giving, and that's what I've tried to do for the last while of my life. I've come from this place of that I've got to be happy just so that everybody else is happy. I've got to make twice as much money as my mom, or 3 times as much money as my mom raised me and my sister on. And I have to do that, not for them, and more so for my own mindset, because I believed for so many years that that's what you needed to do. And in actuality, it isn't about that money. It's about that I thought that money was going to make me happy. Well, I found that what makes me truly happy is helping everybody else. I don't really get much joy out of having all the money in the world. And I truly came to Alberta thinking that, well, that was how you did it. You got to get that good paying job. And you got to get that nice car. And you got to have those nice things so you can enjoy your weekends off. And then I was saying, like, this week, it's Christmas time. My brother shows up. All week long, my mom came in a week before he did. And all week long, we're thinking about how much we can't wait till Bob gets here. And then today, he's gone. So all of that time that we wasted thinking about how awesome it would be for Bob to finally be here, and it just goes by like that. And it made me realize to when I was working 11 days on and 3 days off, and how fast the time goes by. You never have enough time for each other. You never have enough time for the things you like to do, let alone each other. The things you like to do, you want to go up skiing or you want to go camping for the weekend. Well, you got to cram all that into such a little time. So my story has come so far from like rock bottom. I mean, like you couldn't get any lower than I've been. I used to have no friends. I was always picked on. I was the new kid in town. My mom moved around a lot, and I didn't have a father, so I was picked on for that. And I wasn't in a place in my youth where I could stand up for myself, stand up for others. And now I'm in a place where I feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can along my journey. And my journey, like, I get caught up in that there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in your life, 70, whatever years you're going to live. And I keep getting caught up that I'm stuck in the middle part, maybe at the end of the middle part. And in actuality, it's not really that much time left, but at the same time, I've got all the time in the world. Because if I can make such a difference in such a little time, if I can make such an improvement in my life in such a little time, how many more lives can I improve? And like, I feel that I'm trying my best to improve my own life, but at the same time, without even knowing it, I'm improving other people's lives. And I know that I'm trying to back as many people as I can in their GoLives, because you know what? Your GoLive is there like specifically to help you grow your person inside, to not care. I almost feel like eventually there's not going to be cable TV because everybody's just going to be doing GoLives, and then we'll just subscribe to people's GoLives like you would on Instagram or on Twitter, and then you just watch your select shows of the people that really motivate you and the people who get you by, or the people who make things happen. Because each day that goes on, I truly feel that each and every one of you is what's the magic. It's not me walking around in the snow. It's not me who's making the difference in this world. It's you guys. And I might be a little cog in the wheel, like a little tiny cog in the wheel. If we're all energy, we're all together. We're not this individual entity that's floating around aimlessly trying to envision our perfect life. Well, if we all envision the perfect life together, guess what? We're all going to be sitting on that beach at the end of the road. And we're all going to, and it's not even at the end of the road, it's like 3/4 or halfway down the road. Because if you really think about it, it seems like 10 years goes by like no problem. So you guys, like I keep saying it, you guys are the ones that do it. I might be doing my little part, and I'll keep on keeping on. You know, life's the garden, you gotta dig it. But you guys are the ones, without you guys, this whole web of fabric of time and space and everything is nothing. Like, without the smiles and without the generosity and without the coming from giving and without all of those aspects of what it is truly to be human, well, we'd be pretty dull people if we were like dogs and laying around in the sun licking our ass all day. Have no theories on Christmas or birthdays or anything like that. So in my story, I want you guys to realize that each one of us has a really hard time, and it's never really that easy. Anything worth doing is worth doing right, and it's usually the hardest choice you've ever had to make. Anything anything you can put in your past as something that has helped you become stronger is what you need to hold on to. It's what you guys need to succeed. We can't succeed if we never fell on our face. We can't ever succeed if you think that that's even possible. Like, jump right off the fucking boat onto shore, run up onto shore, and you instantly got the perfect tan, and you got the perfect life, and you got the perfect sunglasses and everything like that. Forget it. Yeah, you might have some parents that'll give you a lot, but in actuality, those parents didn't help you suffer at all. They helped you just get everything, and you never gained the self-respect or the selfness that you need to possess such great things in life. I don't want to own any of it until I'm 110% sure that I am, and I am already 110% sure that I am. I am isness. I am one. I am peace. I am a billionaire. Like, billionaire. And you know why I'm a billionaire? Because I've got every last one of you guys in my life. I've got all of you guys backing me, and I hope that you guys know that I'm backing you just as much, because I know that without you and without me, all of this is kind of pointless. It's the journey that we're on, and again, all you need is those building blocks. And I know, and I've heard from a couple of you guys deeply and emotionally, that you do have those building blocks. So if we all can just have a little faith in ourselves and come together in the middle, we can grab that good old guitar, sing Kumbaya, have a bonfire in the backyard with all of our friends and all of our loved ones. And they might not even be there in person. And nowadays we've got these supercomputer in your pocket. And no matter which one of you guys builds a big, huge, yellow-fronted house and has a fireplace, whether you're pyros or not, I'm from BC. I know how to build a fire, and it keeps the room nice and warm, and you got that smell. Like a certain individual was saying this morning, that visualize to the point of smelling your reality. Visualize to the point of that last night I'm looking out my window and I've got a fire going. I can see the fire, I can see the wall, and I can see out the window, and there's all these trees covered in snow, and they're all like, I could have swore I was sitting in a chalet in Banff, but I was in my place, and you know what? It was the best experience I had all night, because I was there. I could smell the burning wood. I could see the trees outside covered in snow, as you can see them behind me now. It was the best experience ever because I knew that I was already there. And that's the key, is to believe so deeply and so knowledgeably that you just feel it. You can feel that snow on the trees. You can feel how cold they are on your fingertips if you don't have gloves. You can go outside and grab the beer out of the snowbank and crack it open and taste it. You can hear the birds chattering or making love music in the trees in the backyard or in some foreign country. And I believe that yes, you have to make your dreams and everything clear. And I was saying that you have to be very clear. Well, you can have a lot of clear vision, and it doesn't have to disclude anything. You just have to believe in it. So before I use up all my data, which I probably already have, but whatever, doesn't matter to me, that I'm not in the business of convincing you. I'm in the business of helping people realize their awakening. And if that's truly what you want to do, you want to better your life, you want to get there, then do it. I can't tell you anything other than that. I love you guys, and like always, much love to every last one of you guys. I'm very grateful for having your support. I'm very grateful for having you on my side. I love you guys lots, and you guys have yourself a great night.